Hello everybody, welcome to Live at 5 on YouTube.
It's a bit low-key.
Okay.
Normally you're screaming, ruining people's ears.
I'm building up to it, yeah.
A full Gary board.
Don't want to put people off from the start. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
Just going to come in,
Well, you've...
not like a wrecking ball.
No. Well,
Very much the opposite of a wrecking ball.
Crystal X Killer says, hello lads, happy to be here. So he's
You
happy.
go. So
you've already...
started off in a chilled way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of maybe going for like an ASMR Live at 5 kind of vibe, you know what I mean?
okay. All right.
Like,
People saying hello, True Toffee, the FC4 for life. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Joe Andres.
hello.
Shh.
Hello,
Come on, come on.
Hello. Welcome to my beauty salon where I will comb your hair virtually.
So you've got to close soon, haven't you, then, if you're a beauty salon? Michael Rome says, hello, everyone.
I'm wearing my plastic visor.
Baz and Ped starting out like an ASMR show, says Michael Rome.
See, there you go.
He knows.
There you go.
He knows. Paddy B says, should Liverpool and United be punished for this project?
I think they should be pushed
Borderline
to a cliff and thrown off.
Minus 15 on the points. Both be deducted 15 points for threatening to resign.
It is like sabotage, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've like literally, it's like they've gone full Guy Fawkes. It hasn't come off, and they should be both thrown on bonfires.
There you go, I wouldn't be against it. Soph Gallagher says, evening lads, I reckon we're going to break the Derby duck on Saturday. We're due a win. Hammers getting the winner. Thomas McHugh says, hello lads, coming home from college. Do you think Godfrey starts in the Derby?
No. And why are you going to college?
Because it makes it just...
Why? No, but why? Nothing.
Don't know.
Nothing.
I don't know. Thomas might have to be there.
Fair enough.
I don't know, Thomas, is the answer. I think hopefully Mina was out with just a precaution, which they've said. And it looks like Seamus will be back. So I wouldn't mess with that defence unless we had to. And Godfrey will have had, 2 days training. He arrives at Finch Farm tomorrow for his first day. He only had 2 days training. But we'll see. Charles Connor says, all right, lads, bye-bye Project Big Picture. Steve Murphy says, hello, boys.
Oh, hi.
Charles Connor says, all right, lads. Yeah, I've said that one, haven't I? Joe Andres, GD, says, like Jurassic Park. And Ped with the ASMR, brilliant, says, Schmeicher Carment Life. There you go.
So if you've got any suggestions for what you'd like to hear from me in an ASMR style, please feel free to put them in the comments and I'll try and... there are a lot of different styles out there. There's some styles that I obviously can't replicate here and now. Me and Baz have watched a couple of versions in the studio.
You've watched I know how many you watch.
Listen, I've said before, I've gone on the record.
You are.
Late at
Full
night,
on the record.
when I need to sleep, I will put on, a bit of gentle whispering. Do you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
They talk to me with their third eye.
I'm saying nothing. Ryan Jones says, what do you think about Godfrey at left back?
No. Why would you even suggest?
2 left backs already.
I mean, that just sounds like a really silly thing to say.
Trevor Hambridge says, Guardian are reporting that Denise Barrett-Baxendale demanded an apology from Liverpool and United at today's meeting. I'm incredibly disappointed with you. You've been very naughty, boys, and I would like an apology.
She'd be very stern, I think.
I think she'd be stern.
Very stern indeed. I think that's right.
I think they need to be told. They need it to be told.
I'm very angry with you boys.
12% Studio says, what on earth?
I demand an apology straight away.
This is very, very true.
I'll stroke your hair.
Shrikar Kandala says, how many Everton players get into a Merseyside combined 11?
12.
Yeah. Michael Rome says, also thanks for the encouragement on my calculus midterm last week. Got an 82 on it, which wasn't horrible.
Them?
What?
Who encouraged?
Last week. Wished him good luck. He was about to take it.
That's luck. That's not encouragement. I'd have ran for the hills.
I encouraged him. He got an 82. Random uploads as
well done on your calculus. Let me stroke your face.
Micah Charm Life says, burn the witch. Man United and the Reds. He's saying. There you go. Uncaused Grunt 1235 says, I hate to say it, but I think Liverpool will beat us, and I only think that because they lost 7-2.
It's a bold statement.
Okay, I mean, why
wouldn't you?
Crystal X Killer says, love the shows, lads. Being here the entire time. Will players like Hammers have to isolate? Why?
For what reason? No, they're in like bubbles, aren't they? They're in bubbles, so...
This is the best. This is the best comment I've had for ages. From my big, massive dong.
I mean
no, that's bad enough.
That's a tremendous
that's
use of
bad
it.
enough. Listen to what he thinks is happening in the world.
Okay.
Why do I get the feeling that Baz controls what El Pavotti says on Twitter? Tweet Olsen was awful, then Mr. Positivity, Baz had a word, and then tweets again saying he isn't that bad. But I mean, if he's older than 15 and he's written that, I'd be embarrassed.
Let me just do an ASMR answer to that. El Pav is Baz's bitch.
That's literally the worst comment I've ever seen.
I think...
Hang on, will you tell me, am I Mr. Positivity? Do I even go on Twitter? Am I Mr. Positivity?
You've got a different outlook on things than some other people do. Yeah. I think you've got a fatherly quality about you that, you know, to me, Baz, right?
Come on.
To me,
Go
right?
On. I'm happy.
The next evolution of you in terms of what we do is you will be starring in a Where There's Original advert in probably 20 years.
That's fine.
Right?
I don't mind.
That's the next evolution.
I don't mind.
And I think that says everything about you.
I just don't like Where There's though. Can you get me a better gig like that?
I don't think there is a better gig.
Don't know Where There's.
I think. See, it will be like Alan Ball's boots. You'll say it's Where There's in your mouth, but really be whatever you want. Whatever you want will be in your mouth, right? And that's a statement on its own. But I think with the Piv, and I think this is where you differ from, is you sometimes go on Twitter late at night, and you'll have had a good look during the day of what's gone on, and then you will go and put the positive vibes out there, or you'll have seen the full picture, you'll have got the full experience before you go on there. I think what Twitter is really good for is reactionary comments. And I think what Andy does, and this is no thing about him at all, he has his own opinions on a lot of things. And they're right, because they come from a very valid place, because he's a very intelligent, well-read, and knows exactly what he wants to do. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
But sometimes what that does is it doesn't always play into the mood of the fans. And I think when you do what we do, is you will say something that you believe is true, and then you will get a barrage of abuse. And then what you do is you take a step back going, I want a quiet day. And you will soften it up a little bit. And then that's all Andy does. Jumps in with his opinion and then realises that that's not what people want to hear. So then we'll soften it up a little bit.
I had a conversation.
Just to have a quiet day.
I had the conversation with Andy about Olsen, who was commenting on his Roma days. So I said, well, go and have a look at him at Copenhagen and how he was at Cagliari. And then if you think the same, sound. And he went and watched, to be fair to him, went and watched loads of videos. Because he come back to me and went, yeah, I see what you meant.
Listen, we had a comment yesterday saying that Olsen was at fault for both of Sweden's goals. We watched it in real time, and he wasn't at fault. And the person who said
Lions, he did.
But then the person who said it was at fault came back and was like, lads, I've watched it again. This time, I actually turned my telly on and put my glasses on, and was actually in the same room, and the sun wasn't shining through the window, and all the excuses in the world, and said actually he wasn't at fault. So I think sometimes you just jump in with things and then go, actually, it wasn't that bad, was it? When I think...
the way I look at things is I look at everything. I try not to do knee-jerk, and I think a lot of people do knee-jerk. And people go on about, like, this Olsen. I don't know whether Robin Olsen is going to be good, bad, or indifferent for Everton. I don't know. Right? But one thing I don't do is I don't just dive in with he's the best or he's the worst ever without seeing him. So if you want to do that, fine, but don't put that on me because someone else has actually given an informed opinion. Jay Jones says, come on you Blues, great win on Saturday lads, brilliant show as always. Tom Gall says, Richie, Robin Firmino's goal, we're already in their head. Paddy B says, do you think Liverpool, United, Arsenal, clubs like that will try to find another way to push their ideas through? Yeah. I'm quite sure they will. I don't know. Question from Patchy Moo Gaming. Why do we cut down birds' houses to build bird houses?
What?
I don't know.
Cut down trees.
Yeah, to put bird houses, to build bird
Fair
houses.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair
That's
enough.
like playing into the mind.
I get that.
Maybe give them a little bit of a more refined house. I don't know.
I think that's a really deep question. I think it's because you can make them dead small and trees are dead big and they get in the way of houses.
1 tree equals 1,000 aviaries.
Maybe.
I mean, that sounded like fortune cookie.
It did
theory,
actually.
that, didn't it?
It did.
One
it did.
tree equals 80 million
Jay Keeley
matches,
has
but
gone.
just one match can burn down 80,000 trees. There you go.
Jay Keeley's gone 5-2 Everton. James Ombler says he's right ped. Someone else has gone 2-1.
What are you saying his right ped for? Hey, what if I did ASMR like this?
My massive dong, mate. You haven't got a clue what you're saying. You've got a cob on. You've got a cob on, and therefore,
Running
goodbye.
through the
You are
field.
gone, mate.
What's he saying? No, I want to
Call me Mr. I'm the new Darren Griffiths. I'm Mr. Everton on Twitter. I don't even go on Twitter, hardly.
Do I look like I could be Mortal Kombat?
Berserk. People are incredible.
Really?
No. Could I be Mortal Kombat, Baz?
Yeah.
Is it? See, why couldn't you be that positive?
You sat like this.
Why couldn't you be that positive? You've already ruined one of the podcasts today, and you come in here with your negativity and your fortune cookie nonsense. Get back to Snowy Safari Park and tickle some pandas.
Will Cook says, all right, lads, hope yous are all right. Have you played PES 2021? Tempted to get it, but not really, because it's only a season update. I've played it. It's slightly better than PES 20. There's some like differences on it, which are good, which make the game better. It's 25 quid, so at least it's not like full. It's
You know what
50.
I'd like?
But I've got the kits updated.
If you
as well,
got beat on PES, right? And when you got beat, they put you in the PES gulag, and it suddenly became a little five-a-side game where you had to win, or you were kicked out.
I don't know.
And you could have knives. I think that'd be well better.
Frew and Pinto says, what happened to Yerry Mina for Colombia?
He was not played as a precaution because he felt a little twinge in his thigh during the last training session. So obviously they're aware of he had that injury, and I don't think he's supposed to play 2 games a week.
Why are people putting in the comments James Rodriguez is injured?
He's not injured. I watched the entire game.
I watched the whole game.
We both watched the entire game. In fact, they scored in the last minute.
And he was sprinting like I've never seen anyone sprint.
And he sprinted over to Falcao like it was no one's business. Yeah. He's fine.
Stop putting nonsense in the comments. Ryan Jones says he meant right back, not left back, for Godfrey. Well, mate, if Coleman isn't fit, I guess Godfrey will play right back. But I don't know. Joe Andres says, did you guys watch any of the games from the internationals? Watched Brazil and Colombia last night. I'm flicking between the two, watched them all. Gordon Hutchison says, come on, you Blues. Where are we? Crispy Southern Comfort says, Pedder's making my ears climax. I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
I'm going to make
Jay Keeley says, Hammer's hamstring.
No, he hasn't. He's fine.
Nope.
Stop crying. Would you like me to build you a fence?
I love another one is Sobrero. Baz is the last guy to believe in Pickford. There's another channel, boys, where you want to go and watch them. They just call everyone crap. Get over there.
Hey, they're watching us because maybe they're watching us because they think you've got positivity. What's the problem?
It's nothing to do with positivity. It's people that
play your role.
It's not about that. It's called looking at everything. People just look at one thing and go, he's the worst. These will be the same fellas, guaranteed, who said Calvert-Lewin was crap. Guarantee you. They're the same fellas that said he's crap. Carlo Ancelotti shouldn't be coming here. He's past it. I 100% guarantee you that they're the same kind, because it's all reactionary. It's all this because they've got it's embarrassing, really.
Later on, Baz will be grating some cheese. If you want to watch.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Are you doing patrons as well?
Yeah, I'm doing patrons because YouTube have turned into... You know what I think it is? I think it's the other two, under pseudonyms.
Right, don't worry about it.
I love it. Let me just refresh on Patreon. I've got to refresh.
It's not
it.
talking
Because
now,
I've got Simon Rouse and Gary Ward saying hello. And that's it. I mean, as comments, that wouldn't be very exciting, would it?
Bears, the face of Weather's
Too
original.
many things saying pet stop it. It's creepy.
Bears wants to touch your Weather's original on a train.
Where are we? Nick Boswell says, where's Gary? Gary's number 2 in the list. Jake says, evening, lads. Cal says, evening. Gary and Simon already. Lewis, hello. Sugarspin's sister says, do you think Pochettino's waiting for the job at either of the Manchester clubs? If Ollie gets the sack at United or if Pep leaves at the end of the season?
Who was that?
Sugarspin's sister.
No, I mean... What,
Pochettino.
Yeah, he's become the new Sam Allardyce. He's waiting for someone to fail in December and get in there.
Yeah, he could be, couldn't he?
Sitting there with his cap on, his white trainees, just cleaning them, you know, doing the new Pulis.
Fair enough.
That's what he is.
Alfie Boy 0206 says, who was a worse Everton manager, Koeman or Silva?
Silva.
Koeman.
Koeman got us Europe.
One place above where Silva got us.
Still got it.
Stuart Tilling says, morning all, I never catch the live streams, might as well throw in a hello Gary. Jay Munsey says, oh hi Blues. Jack Sim says, evening lads, look like we've got through the international break relatively. I'll do that one tomorrow, Jack. Owen says, oh hi Mark. John Washburn says, oh hi lads, how many do Everton need to win before people stop saying it's only been X amount of games?
I've said this before, I think Everton have got to get to about 9-10 games in and still be around that top 4, 5, 6 for everyone, including us, I think. You know what I mean? I think it's a case of, like, it's been a great start, but it's what happens next. We've got the Merseyside derby, then we've got 2 away games. Normally tricky little opposition. Southampton and Newcastle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So who are like tricky opposition.
Yeah.
So it's you got to get like 10 games in where you've played a good mixture of all the clubs. Do you know what I mean? And then you look where you are. You look how you've coped in different situations, and you go from there. Like, I'm dead happy where we are because we've won games of football. But I'm not sitting here by any means thinking that it means anything more at this stage. But when we get to like 9-10 games in, I'll see where we are. I'll see how we've reacted to different situations, like Saturday, where suddenly we're not the favourite, but all eyes are on us to see how we approach this game. And I'll see how we approach this game. Does the manager just jump in with 2 feet and go, well, we're doing well, or does he have a plan? He'll probably have a plan because it's Carlo. And then it's every game then. Do you go to Newcastle and do you control the game and do what needs to be done? Do you go to Southampton and do the same thing? Yeah. It's you know, you're not going to win every game, and you're going to win some that you deserve to lose and lose some that you deserve to win. And let's just wait like a quarter of the season in, and then we'll have a little look at it.
Yeah, we've got to just stick up.
But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
Well, you've got to enjoy it, and it'll be really interesting to see how we react when we lose a game, because you've got to bounce back from that, haven't you? But we'll see. We'll see. Lynn Babington says, evening from Dudley. Good evening, Lynn. Tubbs MD Tubio says, good morning from the Philippines. Paddy Weather says, any idea on when Holgate is back? Isn't it November?
November.
British Aaron says, Batman is on the Liver building.
He has. There was a video of him before. He's on the Liver building.
He's actually on them. And we own the building.
It's just burning my head out. I went to Cherry Lane after I left here last night, just to see.
Was it?
It was all thing. It was dead funny. I walked down, I parked up.
Because people got that video of him driving out the cemetery.
He was in the cemetery, out the gate.
Out the gate.
Because they done some this is what I don't quite get. They done some in Scotland, and it's like they're obviously going to match it all together, and this is obviously already done location scouts to see. So they were driving through. It was a stunt doubles, a second unit it's called. So basically, the first unit with the proper director film stuff in one location, and then they take other people. So because it's the stuntmen on the bikes, they don't need any of the main actors. And the second unit, they have a second unit director who'll direct that stuff. But I went down and I just parked up and had a little walk up just to see if they would think they were starting filming at 8. This was about 7:20. And I just heard some girl going to another girl. What's everyone standing around for? And someone went, doing a film that Robert Pattinson's in it. Oh, is he? And it was like, suddenly as soon as you say that, it was like, is he? But
there you go.
But what's great is he said in the they did like an online DC Comic Con, and the director came on and he said Liverpool is Gotham City. He said it's not just like we're filming a few scenes. He's like, our Gotham is Liverpool. And that's what's amazing. So what's brilliant in these times of trouble, as like we've all seen, is that this is a real boost in the arm for the city, is that there's filming here, major filming. And I know a few people have been like, how are they filming when there's like, with COVID and everything? They brought all the extras from London, they've put them in a hotel, and they're all getting tested every couple of days, and everyone's got it's all that kind of thing. So it's really, really good for the city, and obviously when it gets filmed, when it goes out, which isn't for 2 years, it'll all look amazing. Yeah, but you probably won't even like, you'll know, but you won't be like, you won't see an Arriva bus go past.
No, won't be like fully obvious.
Yeah, it'll be boss. Like.
Mr. Dorf says the thing about Twitter is you're not allowed to have an opinion unless they're negative. Spot on, mate. Paddy B says, who wins in a scrap, Gravison or Distan?
Distan. Oh my God,
easily.
He's eat him.
Yeah, easily. Okay. Sean Kearney says, any chance the derby could be called off with a COVID crack in Merseyside at the minute?
No.
How would you lads feel if we got top 4 this season, then went after Neymar to appease Richarlison? Be incredible. Yeah. Be incredible. Okay.
Dream big.
Going too
Dream
quick.
big.
That is going too quick.
Are you on patient?
Paddy Weathers, just have a look on YouTube. Then Paddy Weathers says thoughts on any late additions from the EFL. Josh King.
I'd still like Josh King. Yeah. I think he does sound like he's pricing himself out of a move though, which is really, really stupid and really, really. But maybe he's thinking, come 9 o'clock tomorrow night, he might be thinking, the phone's going to start ringing, and we'll meet in the middle, maybe. Whatever. And that might be us, by the way. That might be West Ham.
Yeah. Villa interested as well, I think. But probably not how much he's on. Sugar Spun Sister says early days, but you think Alan could be a better player for us than Garner Gay? It is early days.
Yeah, listen,
he could be.
Alan's more like Gareth Barry, isn't he?
Just quality. Which is better, the Punisher film, the one with Travolta, or the Netflix series?
The Netflix series. Travolta. What's Travolta ever been in that was good, apart from Pulp Fiction?
OJ. It was amazing in OJ. Jake Thompson says, best and worst transfer Everton made under Martinez, Koeman and Silva. Well, Martinez will have been Lukaku, comfortably. Koeman, Garner Gay. Marco, Richarlison. The worst, Martinez, name your pick. McGeady, Tarashay, Funes,
Leandro Rodriguez.
Alcaraz, the wit.
Leandro Rodriguez.
Leandro, yeah. Koeman.
Scam.
Martina, not even close. Marco. Who's the worst signing that Silva's made? Silva.
See, that's the mad thing. Marco Silva got good players. That's the mad thing.
It's hard to say who was the worst under him at the moment because they've all seen.
At this moment,
the one that hasn't worked. Yeah, but the one
that's what I'm saying. At this
I guess the one that hasn't worked is Moise Keane because he was coming with loads of expectations being shipped out. But Gabaman, because obviously we haven't seen him, that's not his fault.
No.
Rich will have an eighth of what you're smoking, Ped. Matt says, looking ahead to the next block of fixtures, including games against Liverpool and Man United, how many points do you reckon is realistic?
Why are you scared of Man United?
United, not worried about them in the slightest. I don't know. I'm the thing I'm doing differently this season, trying to do differently this season, is just look at the next game in front of us. And I'm not doing that thing which I've done in the past. There's like, God, if we win this one, that's 3 wins on the run. I'm not even thinking like that because every game's on its own merit. And so we just got to go into the next one and go, can we beat these? And then on to the next one. So I'm not looking, Matt, at like points totals. Do you reckon if you get 6 out of 9, every time. Remember Nigel Martin saying this? You'll get in. Basically, you'll be in the top 4 race for the season.
Well, you win at 230 games, aren't you?
So, that's what they aim for. ASRM, Mike Dean gives us a penalty edition. Dan Martin says, Little Miss Dynamite is fuming with the Reds and amongst there, she's demanded apology. David Grove says, evening boys. Gareth Hughes says, that's why do you hate your rivals video was great. Ped the Arsenal and the Chelsea guy are just disregarding that cop-out and not letting them speak. Great points, Ped, and showed more restraint than I would have when the pre-pubes and cop-out was pointing in your face. Probably why I could never do these types of videos. John Washburn says, Ped, just watch the 888 on the rivals, you dominated it. You should have bitch slapped the smarmy little red. Adam Conroy says, oh, hey guys, gutted gonna miss the first derby that I've actually felt good about in a long time due to other commitments. Let's hope the lads can pull it off. Hello, fellas. When will the Tarasai special be out on Patreon? Yeah. Ian Holloway is from Gareth as well. Ian Holloway's comments on Project Big Picture are great. How the hell can those clubs that self-proclaim to be the top 6 when Everton are top and Man United 16th?
That's the whole point of it, though, isn't the whole point of it is what the people who've got power now may never have power, you know, may not always have power. And that's why they're trying to get power. Man United, Liverpool are looking at it, their owners are looking at it going, before we got here, Liverpool were a team that were considered a top 4 finisher, maybe 5, 6, right? I mean, when they got there, they were actually more like 7 and 8, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right? And they're thinking, we've got to seize power now. We've got to make this last forever, right? Man United owners are like, we mightn't get Champions League this season. We only got it just last season, and we didn't have it the year before. So they're trying to jump on it. Football doesn't work like that. You know, Huddersfield have got more league titles than Tottenham. That's football.
Yeah.
Is supposed to
Moves,
be
doesn't it?
in flux. And I've said this. I said this on another thing we did. Is like it's actually the EFL teams that I'm embarrassed for most, because they've basically surrendered any ambition to ever do anything ever again. And yet we grew up in a time when teams like just before I was born, but Derby County came up and won the second division and won the first division. Forest won the second division, first division, and then the
back-to-back European
Cups 2 years in a row. You know, that's ambition, and I know that doesn't happen very often, but look at the way Leeds have come up this season. Look at the way Sheffield United come up last season with ambition. Villa are showing ambition. You know, of all the teams in the EFL, just going to surrender that now and go, you know what, as long as we survive. So you survive by making good decisions. And listen, I know it's getting worse. I know it's getting tough, but holding a gun to football's head and saying, we'll give you all that you want as long as we get all that we want is not the answer. No. It's not the answer. It's sitting down and saying what works for everyone, but we all have a chance of winning the league. Man United and Liverpool,
like it's the collective.
Man United and Liverpool have proved, their owners have proved, they don't want that. The other teams in the top 4, or who think they're in the top 6, have proved that they don't want that. They want to be a
they just want to be a monopoly,
their own monopoly,
and that's it.
And they want to run away, and they want to make all the decisions, and no one's allowed to challenge them. And you know, they're a little
it's being thrown out anyway. Which is good. Haley says, "Never change, Baz. We love you as you're a true blue." Thanks, Haley. Ramiro Vergara says, "When is Hammers back in town? Tomorrow, isn't it? And then training on Friday." Blank Face 8 says, if we beat Liverpool, then I think people will start to recognise us. We just got to keep going at the end of the day. Regardless of what happens on Saturday, we've got to make sure that we stay on track doing Saturday. As much as we want to beat them and we're due a win, we've got to make sure we stay on track. It's one game, it's 3 points. We keep going. If Everton beat Liverpool, what it'll do is it'll be another big hurdle you've overcome psychologically. I think fans will back it even more. I think the players will get loads of confidence for it. If but that's football. It's one game. We could beat Liverpool and then go to Southampton and Newcastle and lose both of those games because maybe we get ahead of ourselves. So we do have to take it week by week, but there's no reason why we can't beat Liverpool. They're a top side, they're the champions, but they're beatable as well. So
just going back to what we were talking about just then, Premier League shareholders have agreed to work together as a 20-club collective on a strategic plan for the future structures and financing of English football. This project has a full support of the FA and will include engagement with all relevant stakeholders, including fans, government, and of course the EFL. It also agreed to make it available a rescue package which aims to ensure that League One and League Two clubs will not go out of business as a result of the financial impact of COVID-19 and will be able to compete in the 2021 season. So there you go. Without anyone leaving the Premier League, without anybody threatening to leave the Premier League, without anyone taking over control of the Premier League, they've just basically just done what was part of it.
Not should have been.
Okay, they're not saying that there's going to be money forever, but there shouldn't be money forever. They should be save them now, and then let's rethink how we do things going forward.
They need to police themselves and look after their own accounts as well, though.
Rick Parry is the biggest charlatan in the world, by the way. He should not be running them.
No.
He should not be running that EFL. He's
People
a
have
crook.
asked for his resignation.
He's a crook. What he did to Wigan, disgusting.
Steve Kenny says, watching from Salt Lake City, USA. Love the show, lads. NSNO.
Yes.
Nice one, Steve. Top man. Where are we? Shea Jacko Game says, are we signing Josh King? Don't know. Is the reality to that? Don't know. Semi-Charmed Life 311 says, Godfrey signing a brilliant bit of business. Young talent also provides cover. Yes. Make sure you're hitting those like buttons. I haven't asked you yet. Make sure you're hitting it. Blank Face 8 says he's ready for Seamus to absolutely pocket money. Dylan Bannon says, what's happening, the boys? Calvert-Lewin to bag a hat-trick in the derby. Something feels different this year. We've just got to stay on what we're doing. We can win this Saturday, and let's just do it. Gareth Millington says, Batman is a toffee. There you go. Dunrig Gill 100 says, hey, it's Martin from Newfoundland. Afternoon, guys. Raining over here. Very nervous about Saturday. Don't get nervous about it yet. Yeah. Surely. Wednesday. It's only Wednesday. Yeah. Stuart says, Ped, do you think most football fans are like sheep and support the same corporate teams like Liverpool and United?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know, because I just think that's a generation below me. So I don't know how people... I try and get it. I was, funny enough, some of that video I did for 888, just seen some of the responses in it. Why have you got an Evertonian on? Why, like we don't matter? Like, or just simple fact of like, why do fans of clubs who aren't seen as the top six, why does their voice mean less than someone? Because, why does someone who follows a team who may have won the league in the last 10 years, why do they know more about football than I do? Or why is their opinion mean more than what mine does? It's that thing.
Does it?
But it's that thing of like, that's what I'm saying. It's the thing of like, why is he in the conversation? Why haven't you got this? And the irony is, in the thing, they're saying, why haven't you got a Tottenham fan in the conversation?
Tottenham,
like,
hilarious.
It's just like, that to me is what's wrong with it is there does seem to be this pull of these clubs, and they do, don't they? They want to be brands. They want to establish themselves as a brand. They want to put their brand all over the world. And
let me read this. Gazi Gazandapus on a super chat says, found this channel recently and I'm a huge fan. Great job on 888 Sport, Ped. Any thought of collaborating with other channels like the Kickoff? Well, I think we're doing something on Thursday with another channel. We've done a opposition preview with the Redmen today.
We've done something we've actually done something for a Colombian YouTube
TV
channel,
that's going on
TV,
this weekend.
That is going to be, that's quite big.
It's going to be out in America, in Miami, it's in Florida. It's going out on there.
We actually had one of the French channels actually asked before. if they could come in and see us on Saturday, but we're like, no. Basically.
Honestly, no.
No.
But
So,
thank you.
they have to approach us more than we approach them, because we like our little bubble.
Yeah.
They've got to come to us. We don't reach out to these people because we're not generally that arsed. We just do what we need to do.
Toffee Orifice says Yerry Mina is the only doubt. Yeah, I mean, he was kept out the team last night as a precaution for Saturday, so we'll have to wait and see. He'll be back tomorrow and then he'll be assessed, I guess. Angela Webb says, love the show, guys. Can't wait for Saturday. Come on, you Blues.
Oh, can't wait.
Crystal X Killer says, quick question, boys. Where does Godfrey fit in, by the way? Love the streams.
He fits in everywhere, doesn't he? Essentially. Again, it's getting out of that mind of being like, where's he going to play? He's in the squad. He'll play, won't he? Like 2 weeks ago, people were like, where's Tom Davis going to play? He was in the next game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's football, isn't it?
The manager will decide.
You know, before this weekend, if the manager hadn't come out put it this way, right? If the manager hadn't come out today and said Seamus is available, then we would be sitting here now going, Godfrey could play right back or he could play centre back. And that's how quickly things change in football.
Definitely.
That's how, you've got to have if you want to compete, you've got to have a squad. Simple as
Good
that.
Players.
Good players, not just like 2 weeks ago, all we were hearing was, if we get an injury to this player or that player, then that player has to come in and, no.
And we had 5 injuries
and it's
in 3
like,
days.
And the point being is, if someone gets an injury, like put it this way, right? Playing Liverpool on Saturday, their midfield, I've got no idea what their midfield will be, because all their midfielders seem to be interchangeable. I know Henderson is their like main fella, but their midfield seems very interchangeable. They all know what they're doing, and that's huge. If you're a team like that and you can change around your players to suit different games, that's massive, and that's what every good team wants. And hopefully that's what we'll get eventually. And then when you get European football where you're playing, don't forget, all the teams in European football from this Saturday, they'll be playing Saturday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Thursday for the next 2 months. Solid. Absolutely solid. So that's why you need that squad.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to have the players that can cover it, because you're just not going to keep that perfect 11 for the whole season. And you can't have a meltdown when you haven't got the perfect 11. Ian Concannon says, all fans matter. They do. Ravenous Hydrick says, we'll make for a good game, a better watch, at least making it a challenge for us. I think it's always a challenge for you at Goodison. It's Anfield where it's not really a challenge, or it hasn't been enough of a challenge, I think. Steve Kenny says, any educated predictions for when we may get planning permission for the stadium? January they're expecting, aren't they? And I think that's all on course, so that's where we are now.
And that ain't going to get knocked back now.
No
not
chance.
Not a chance.
Not no.
Well, put it this
not
way,
this
within the city, there's not a chance on earth that's getting knocked back now.
There's
way. No way on earth you can put the thoughts of historic England and a hole in the ground next to millions and millions and millions of bit of a rock joke there, just throwing that in, of pounds and jobs in what is happening now. So if they knocked it back, I think the government would tell them to sort it out. Never mind anyone else.
Mad. Johnny B. Good says Hartlepool and Everton all the way. None of this horrible red fake stuff. Harry Jones, it's going to be the Football Terrace, I think it's called, that we're on Thursday, I think. Man United Forever says, I'm sorry that the Glazers try to ruin football. All they want is money.
Well, they're trying to ruin your club, mate. Never mind the football. They're trying to ruin your club first and foremost.
Leicester Fan TV said we can come and join them on their thing. More than welcome. We might do something with these for a preview when we're playing. Be a good
we
one.
get all kinds today, aren't we?
Good,
Hello,
good.
Leicester Fan TV.
Lynn says they need a good chairman to put money into the club. If they don't,
sorry, did she say chairman?
It's just about survival. Otherwise, maybe. Yeah. Ian Milky Coffee says he got hammered in that 888 comments though. Well, he will do, because the majority of people who watch it will be Reds.
Yeah, that's why I got.
So, and that's Ped knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Hey, I'm not being funny. We recorded that video for 25 minutes and only 6 minutes is in. You want to see what isn't in that video. Oh, what
I don't know.
All I'm going to say is...
I don't want to think
all
about it.
I'm going to say is Stour Bucharest flags in the Kop. That's
Didn't
all.
he put that in?
Oh, they left that bit out, didn't they? Oh, they left that bit out.
Stephen Poynton says, are we still interested in Josh King? I don't know. Is the answer? I think Everton like him, but if it's the wage demands or what's been reported, then as much as I want him, I wouldn't go near him for that.
Good luck with the championship.
Exactly. Okay, where are we? Lynn's talking about West Brom. She isn't talking about the town.
Sorry, I just...
That's mad. Come on, you Blues. Coib says they got hammered by Villa. Now they're retaliating by trying to hammer Ped. Johnny B. Good said, is there any point starting the stadium? When will fans be allowed in? Well, it takes 3 years. It takes 3 years or 2 years, 9 months. So, there is. So hopefully by then we will be. I mean, if we're not, there won't be football.
It actually makes more sense to start the stadium when there aren't fans in it than you know what I mean?
Definitely. Lynn says here, our West Brom chairman refuses to give us money. Yeah, that is a bit mad.
Aren't they owned by... Are you still owned by Chinese?
Rob, I will.
Owners? Or have they gone as well? Because they were another one who made a lot of noise, weren't they?
Yeah. Stuart says here, Everton linked with Shype Jukebox says Everton linked with Brooks. Really can't see
I like David Brooks.
Too much money.
No, I like him.
No,
I'm still
I'm saying to Shy.
No.
They're talking about 40 million. Derek says, evening lads. Hello, Gary.
Hello.
Really looking forward to Saturday. No sweating about it at all, and that's not usual for me. I've not felt this way before a derby since the Kendall days. Nice. Isn't it just time for the clubs that can adopt first and second division clubs as feeders? It works well in other countries.
What I would say is, and Degs, you're absolutely right, but I don't think that's what should be on the table right now, because I think that would be opportunistic to sit here and go, oh, we'll help you out. By the way, we basically want your club. I think that's down the road. See my issue with this whole thing is, are 92 clubs genuinely sustainable in this not just in this climate, in the climate going forward? But
isn't that their choice?
No, what I'm saying is, what I mean is, and it's just really difficult to talk about in terms of, because it's not just like a normal business. There's emotions and everything else that go into it, right? When businesses go bust, genuinely, nobody kicks up a fuss.
Yeah.
They just
people
say...
are sad, aren't they?
People are sad, but they just say, well, you have to... we're going to have... In the next 10 years, sooner, lots and lots of businesses are going to go bust. We've seen it in the last few years, not just the last few years. Think about things like Woolworths, and then somewhere like HMV, which was just about saved. And all these businesses that we grew up with that are all starting to become just invalid because we don't buy records anymore or whatever. The problem with football is, certainly because of the Champions League and because television, the smaller clubs people are just gravitating now to bigger clubs. And those smaller clubs are finding it harder because there are so many of them. So there's not enough money to go round for a start to keep these clubs going. I wonder how much the Premier League would have to, or the top end of football would have to give, just to keep them going. And will they just keep asking for more? Do you know what I mean? I mean, and that sounds like a really, that's not a nice thing to say, but if these clubs can't look after themselves to a certain point, then can we afford to just keep giving them money? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there should be a pot that goes down every year.
No,
it should drip down.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying is, does that pot have to keep getting bigger because those teams can't?
They need to. You've got to cut your cloth accordingly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
End of story.
Yeah.
And so, if you can only pay players £300 a week, that's your budget. That's your budget, and you do that based on how much money you can afford. Doesn't matter. Yeah. What you do is, we've got to go. The problem that's happened in football is that Premier League clubs are being given bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And people want to reach the Premier League so that they can get the riches of it. And so therefore they start to stretch themselves. And somewhere along the way, people have forgotten what football is. Football is a competition. You play it because you love it. Fans go and watch it because they want to see their team win. But the aim of every manager should be to build a team. And it doesn't matter if you're paying someone £5,000 or 500 quid a week, you still should be able to build a team. If you can't get the £5,000 player, go and find one that will play for 300 quid who's just the same. Because I tell you what, you mentioned it on a different show we done. Something like 9 of the England starting 11 played in the EFL, right?
10, wasn't it?
Or 10, whatever it was, okay? There's players there who are good footballers, who won't demand. If you've got a lad playing non-league, right, and you say to him, we'll pay you £300 a week to be our centre forward, but you're a professional footballer. No, you haven't. I know some non-league clubs are professional as well, but a lot of lads are still having to do the jobs and come and train twice a week and play. You said to one of them, all right, you might be getting £300 a week working as a driver for someone, whatever, but we'll give you £300 a week to play football. They're going to go and play football, and you have to cut your cloth accordingly. That's how it is.
And I think, and I also think that there's things that could be done as well.
Agents, fees, get rid of them.
No, but I think there's things that these clubs can do themselves. Not these clubs, but the leagues. I've said
Manuel
before,
Sainz, hi from Colombia. Hello,
I said
Manuel.
before.
Hola, Manuel. Yeah.
League 1 and League 2, I think should be north-south.
Yeah, stop the travelling.
I think they should be north-south, stop the travel.
And
I also think League 1 and League 2 should be able to have synthetic foot pitches.
4G.
I think cut down on the grass.
And you'd have multi-use for the community.
You have multi-use. You means that you're playing on a good standard of pitch all the way through as well.
Yeah.
So because you can't afford to have a good pitch doesn't stop you from going up. Because if you might have who was it? Remember Newport's?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, they were playing rugby on it as well. It was terrible.
When he played Spurs, it was
so
sand,
we used to say they don't get
it?
to like January and February and the pitch is destroyed
Right.
and you're a passing team.
Yeah.
So I think they should have that, because if that stops you going up, and if you get in the Championship, you have to
you get a pot of money anyway.
You get a
so
pot of money
able
and you have to have grass pitch, right? So I would do that, and I'd make it, and I'd regionalise it as well, and that's what I'd do. Because I just think they're common sense things that stop clubs like, say, Carlisle having to travel down to the south.
could hire their ground out.
No, but I'm talking about the travel, sorry.
Oh, the travel,
so you have
sorry.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
Carlisle
going down
everywhere
to Plymouth or something.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Ridiculous.
It doesn't make
Got
any
to find
sense.
money for transport, hotels.
Exactly.
You're right, just cut it in half, because it is about sustaining. If we want to sustain clubs, let's give them a hand. Make sure you're giving it a like. Make sure you're subscribing if you haven't subscribed. Much appreciated while you're here. Thank you very much. Steve Hardy says, hi lads, I'll watch this tonight as I'm working, but I'm nipping on now and again to comment. I think Saturday is potentially the biggest match we've had in many years. The importance is in terms of instilling confidence in the squad, and they'd carry on our winning run. Phenomenal BS Bobby Brogue says, you've got a balanced outlook, Baz. It's better to see things from more than one angle with a calm head. Is right, mate. Robert says, hi guys, can you name the favourite football boots that you played in? Mizuno, David Platt, circa 1995 for him. Puma King, belter footy boots. I got given I had a pair of Andrei Kanchelskis' boots and a pair of Gary Speed's boots. Gary Speed's are Sikhs, that were like Predator, but they were a Sikhs one. I've still got them. In fact, I think I've shown them, haven't I? They were my favourite boots.
I've got a pair currently, and I still wear them when I play now and again. I've got a pair of Tim Howard's boots, Nike Premiers, which are nice, but my favourite are Copa Mundials, and I had Predator as well when I was a kid. When my teens, I had like proper Predators, like the second one, Predator Rapier, and I had the red-tongued ones, and I had the ones from the Euro 2000s as well. I had them as well. I used to pay ridiculous amounts for my boots. I had a pair of Nike silver ones that I got imported from America, and they ended up costing me 200 quid to play Sunday League. I used to change went to Tenerife and bought a pair of R9 Nike Mercurials.
Mercurial.
I had the Inter Milan R9s as well. But I used to literally get a new pair of boots every 3 months and just give them away. And the boots I was giving away would be worth a fortune now because they were all like the R9 ones.
We got our Senator kit, remember Senator?
Yeah.
We got our Senator kit because of our, that Inter, because it was an Inter kit with the big P on it. We had thingy on it. Rob Welsh says, hey, yeah, you are a proper boots freak, you definitely. Rob Welsh says, hi guys from Japan, keep up the good work. Hello Rob, honest predictions for Saturday. I think we can win. I think for the first time in a few years, I think we've got a team that can hurt Liverpool. But it's a derby match and it could go either way. But I think we've got a team that can score goals against them without a shadow. And I'm more confident than I have been. That's all I'd say.
We've got a better team, haven't we?
We've got a better team.
We should have a better chance of winning, but...
We know that. There's no surprises from us with them. We know that they're a top side. So, Cali FC says, Ped's whisper is strangely arousing. Michael says, even lads, I'm interested to see if you have looked at Godfrey from last season and what you think. I didn't, it wasn't pretty. Positional play atrocious, definitely has the ability to be very good. Won't be a starter for a while. I watched them last night in the 21s, and you're right, at times, positionally, he doesn't seem to be in the right... I'm not a centre-back, by the way, but he doesn't seem to be in the right area. But then there was other bits last night where he demonstrated his ability and his speed and his recovery, and he carries the ball so well. And he looks like he's talking all the time, organising. So I think Everton will have to refine him a little bit.
You're also talking about a player who played at Norwich.
Played for Norwich, he played for Shrewsbury. He's been at York, started at York. So listen, Jared Brantwaite come in and people said he wouldn't play and he did. So we'll get him, we'll train him and we'll see how we go. Owen Peter said, did you see Tarashai's tweet? Cop-out.
Wasn't Tarashai.
It was a black one, wasn't it? Jay Munsey says, oh no, we mentioned Batman around Ped. Terry McKenna says, I'm pretty sure Ancelotti has broken the season down into sections, 9 games until Christmas. Let's wait until then. It's how you've got to do it. But what we're doing now is, we're on the 1 game a week now, aren't we? So we can play the game, then a week of training and recuperation, then play the next one. And that's going to benefit us, whereas teams like, forget Liverpool and City for now, but teams like Spurs, teams like United and Chelsea, Leicester, they're all in European action every week and then having to play games as well. And us and Wolves won't, I know Wolves have, but us and Wolves won't have that. And Arsenal in Europe as well, aren't they? Yeah. So, you know, we're the ones who will just be 1 game a week, concentrating on the next game and the next game. So, and Saturday will be really tough, of course, it will, but if we win, it doesn't mean we're going to finish in the top 4. Yeah. If we lose, it doesn't mean that's it. It's the season over. Yeah. And if we draw, it means we're still top. So there you go. Stay Hardy said halfway through your Degsy interview, Baz. Great stuff so far. Such a lovely fella. And Degsy isn't bad. That nice one, Steve. Gary Ward says Travolta gets shorty. It was a classic. It was.
I'll give you that.
You're not doing this now, but maybe you'll finish with this.
I know what this is.
Compared to a Carragher ASMR. Maybe do that to finish. Paul Roberts says, how do you think the international break and travel plus the early start affect the game on Saturday? Will it be good, bad or neutral for the Blues?
Those starts are not great. They're not good for anyone though, are they? In terms of coming back from an international weekend, both teams will get players in late.
The way I look at it though, our players are travelling home today. Yerry Mina and Hammers are travelling home today, Richarlison. They'll arrive back tomorrow. They'll be off anyway because of the extra rest day. And then Friday they train. So they will have rested today because the game was last night. They'll rest tomorrow. And then they'll go in and they'll probably just do light stuff and tactical stuff on Friday and a bit of finishing and get a rub and everything. So come Saturday, it's a game and then it's basically a week then, isn't it? They'll be given 2 days off, I think, then to recuperate. So it's just getting through the 90. Liverpool have got to say they've got Firmino and Fabinho, who went as well as all the other players, Van Dijk and England, Henderson with England and stuff. So all their internationals are playing as well. So just got to see what happens, haven't we? Rob Welsh says, can Kenny take over from Coleman next year? Is Pickford out the door in January? And what happens if DCL gets injured? No, and we'll just have to cope, won't we? Yeah. Phenomenal Bobby Brogue says Parry is a scam man going way back. His love of the pound note is well known. We know that from when he was at Liverpool. Liverpool fans don't like him. Keith Powell says, hi lads, Ped, big credit for your performance on 888. Red Member's ranting because he's intimidated. Loved the way the articulate way you propose your answer to the question and laughed. Brian Jones says, we smashed them on Saturday, ruining football since 85. Side Jukebox says, Chelsea were nothing before the money came flooding in. Short memories. Gary says, a derby win would force folks to take us seriously. Keith Powell says, we talked the Cayman Islands yesterday. Here's some facts.
Go on.
Financial tax haven. EU placed it on their blacklist.
Yeah.
Haven for international businesses and wealthy individuals. Founded in 1962, 102 square miles, capital Georgetown, currency US dollar, population 65,000, GDP 5.5 billion US dollars, and is an autonomous British overseas territory. Thought you might need this info for when Toffee TV goes global. Rob Walsh says yes. Back in the Yout Chow. Graham Rogers says, does it look like any of the fringe players are going out on a perm or a loan?
Not at the moment.
Doesn't at the moment, does it? But then Friday, Thursday night, Friday, could be,
things could move.
Lynn says, oh no, remember AstroTurf. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. We've both played on 4G pitches.
Great.
They take a stud. They're so different now, aren't they, to what they were? That's what Fastling's for, mate.
No, 4G is tremendous when you play on it. The ball, okay, is still not quite what the bounce and stuff, but that's more to do with like the floor, isn't it? I'm sure they'll be working on the next thing, 5G, which obviously people will want to burn and stuff, but they'll be working on the next thing, won't the next generation of it, which will be trying to make it, because at the end of the day, if they could get sports pitches all around the world, if some firm comes up with the next evolution of synthetic grass that can go on sports pitches in places where, like, I don't know, like, think of like loads of parts of like the Middle East and loads of parts of Africa, poor areas with terrible climates that doesn't sustain, grass pitch, doesn't sustain grass, or gets worn on or gets used for other things. Someone will make a fortune out of it.
Yeah,
of course they will. We're already seeing like synthetic grass now, and people's replacing their own gardens with it, aren't we? Yeah. Because it takes less maintenance. It's hard work. Yeah, I've investigated it. Like ones where the dog can go on it and like it doesn't cause any problems. It's if that. We've seen it in Scotland as well. Some of their teams have it because of the harsher conditions. We've seen it getting used in the Champions League.
It's been used at international level. Gibraltar play on the Astro. It's not great. Their one, because it's a few years old, but it's full of those rubber bits. But...
So when they get to... And I used to say, like, if it was an amazing surface, you could replace it the same as your grass at the end of the season or every couple of seasons, and you get the next generation of it. It could save football clubs literally thousands and thousands of pounds.
£100,000 to redo a pitch.
Just think of the everyday maintenance of it, though, as well.
All the grounds and everything, Real Tall says, in the spirit of Halloween, what's the biggest horror show you've seen from Everton? I mean, we've seen a few, haven't we? Bolton beating us 4-0 at home was a horror show. Spurs beating us 6-2.
Liverpool beating us
4-0. That 4-0 under Martinez was...
My video.
Was just, Peds, if you haven't watched it, go and watch that.
My video was just...
Done about 100,000, that at least, that video.
I wish it had.
I think it has.
Oh, it was a proper... That was
a breakdown.
The worst thing about that game was the players... It wasn't like they didn't care, but they were looking for leadership off the manager.
We played Oviedo at right back, and he was...
The manager was just like...
Yeah.
And then the manager just walked down the tunnel at the end of the game and didn't acknowledge our fans. And John Stones said he had toilet troubles, and it was just... He bottled it. It was horrendous.
He got sent...
Klopp was laughing his head off.
Sent off, didn't he? Because kissed the badge.
Kicked the Rigi, kissed the badge.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Klopp was basically just like telling them to just shoot from anywhere because he was embarrassed by how much.
He was just laughing, like, and telling them to take it easy, wasn't he? Because it was embarrassing. Frew and Pinto says, do you think fans will have to wait till 2021 to be in the stadium?
Yeah.
I do.
Easily.
Yeah, I think so now. No, the way it's going at the minute, and this might change, of course, but the way it's going at the minute, it's looking unlikely we'll be back in this season.
No, I don't.
But that could change by March, April, hopefully. Patrick Farrell says, come on, lads, the top 4 is there now for the taking. Well, it will be if we carry on what we're doing. But all we're saying is we've only played 4 games. It's been amazing so far. If we carry on like this, the league's there for the taking. It's very early days, of course it is.
I have no doubt that this team is a decent team, but you've got to get that mentality nailed down of...
Got to win big games, tough games.
You've got to get that mentality nailed down in every game where it's like, you're going to be pushed and can you give it back? You know, we did get
the lights up, please, thank you.
We've done a match preview for the derby with Redmen. Baz went and did the Redmen's. I did ours with one of the Redmen, and you know, saying to them like, your team's a machine. Every game it goes into, there's like, they go into it thinking they're not going to lose, and that's how they play. And it's that going, and it's like
belief in what
it's
they're
belief that they know what they're doing. And I think I think our players probably have that belief. But it's the fans. You got to take the fans with you, and you do that by every game, playing a certain way. And whatever happens, you just keep going along with it, and you don't throw your toys out the pram because you might concede a goal or whatever. You just keep going. And I think once we get to like 9-10 games, if that keeps going, and yeah, we'll lose games on the way. But if that's there, where it's like we played well today, but we lost, that's where you go. This is a decent team.
Yeah, definitely. JTA Football El Ballon says, hola, gracias por la información. So obviously, hello, thank you for the information. Thank you too. Abigail Barfoot says, could Sarr or Brooks be an option in January? They could. Good players, both very good players. Frew and Pinto says, what do you think of Davis's involvement in the first team? This is last season at Everton to prove himself. I'd say, yeah, I think he's got to really step it up. And what he's coming out with, the things he's saying, is what you want to hear, which is he wants to get better and he's studying Alan and all that. But I do think he's in a position now where he absolutely has to step up a level, like Dom's done and like Holgate's done. Kezzy Kaufman says, everyone go and like this video, get the likes up to 250 at least, 700 watching. Where are we? Dave Walker was at Anfield for that 4-0.
Just been sent this.
Yeah.
It's the whole of the project. Clown shoes.
Yeah.
Right? But on the list, it's got the thing about the capacities of the stadiums for the infrastructure payment. And ours is down as being 60,000.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because that's probably what it can go to, that's why.
Which is that's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But Chelsea's is down at 60,000 as well, so that's for their new ground as well, isn't it?
The thing in, yeah.
West Ham, yeah.
Samuel Alexander said, well said about our mentality, fully agree. John called it Samuel at home in the cup. Kumas looked like Zidane was the worst match ever. It was. That was terrible. One of Steve Yates with 2 headers. Oh my God, I was working in the ticket office and just got into my seat as Kumas done that chip for 1-0. Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible day that was. We were atrocious that day, weren't we? Terrible.
It was a new low.
Terrible. Hakon Sarak says, been a fan for 35 years. Totally the opposite of most Norwegians who are sworn to Liverpool. My friends wonder why I ain't a Liverpool supporter like the rest of them, so I must be a weirdo. I have to tell my Everton story to make the people respect my passion. A childhood mate of mine introduced me to Everton. He turned Man City fan. Okay. And got killed in a plane crash at Linate Airport in Milano during a fan trip 20 years. That's terrible. If faith ain't going to get me Everton till I die. Well, we're happy to have you, Hakon, and hopefully things are going to start getting better. Gary Ward says, just turned the EFL into a farm system for the big clubs in the way baseball is set up over here. But
Who
there's
said
a
that?
lot. Gary Ward.
You can't, Gary, because That's not
people's emotions.
That's not how our pyramid works. I think that this thing would have done that. That's not how our system works in this country. Our system works, and it's weird because your system works like what you think our system would work, and our system works like what your system should work. Whereas in America, it's like everyone can get to the top, and it's like, and ours is all more a bit like a class system, which is what yours is. You buy into you franchise it. But over here, it's just not like that. Every person who supports a club dreams that team can win the FA Cup or can win the league. And of course, that's getting harder and harder and harder. But everyone who supports a team dreams about getting into the Premier League. Or that's why the FA Cup is like, everyone loves it, because they simply believe that they can if they get someone in the third round, they get them at home, and you know, we'll beat them today, we've got a chance. And it's great what they want to go, oh no, we'll look after the EFL, but it wouldn't have took long for it to be like, oh no, that money we're giving you, oh by the way, we want to
do this,
do that to you.
And they've got nothing to say, they're over the barrel then, aren't
the EFL were quite happy to do that. They were quite happy to say, as long as we survive, we're not bothered. That's not what it's about. You can survive and you can compete. Surely, if look at Brentford. Brentford are the perfect example. They've got a system that works.
Yeah.
They get big money in for the players they sell, and they go and find a replacement. And that's very much like the European model, like we've seen with like Lille and clubs like that.
Yeah.
Selling, going out and getting the next one,
and then sell it high,
developing them for a couple of years, and then sell, and then and competing while they're doing it.
Definitely. Where are we? Jay Nolo says, how long's Holgate out for? It's supposed to be the middle of November. It was 9 weeks from the week, so the 5th of September, whatever it was. 9 to 10 weeks. So that puts them about the middle of November, end of November. So we'll see. Hopefully it won't be that much longer. Holgate back in training towards the end of November. So Abigail Barfoot says, will Sims get more of a chance on the bench? Is that if we don't bring someone in?
I suppose we'll find out, won't we, on Saturday? I mean, I don't think he's near the level yet, but it'll be Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. They're the forwards. If Dom's out, Richarlison will play up front, and then someone will come in on the left, either being a Iwobi or Anthony Gordon or Bernard.
Yeah.
And those three could probably play on the other side as well. So the manager, at the moment, they're probably looking at going, we've got two can play in the one position, and if the worst comes to the worst, we might have to put Sims in that position. But that's a calculated risk, and that's, I suppose last season they took the same calculated risk on centre-backs, and that's what got Holgate into the team, and now everyone loves Holgate. So you've got to make these calculated risks now and again.
Definitely. Jamie Mundy says, do you think not having fans in Goodison has helped improve the mentality of the players?
What do you think?
No, I don't think it's improved the mentality, because I think they were told in no uncertain terms when the season finished to come back with a different mentality or not to come back. I think I don't know. I think it might have relaxed them a bit.
I think last season it helped bed in playing out from the back, not having fans there. Yeah. There was a patience. It was like a training.
It benefits us away.
It was like a training game. So therefore it was fine. There's no one shouting from anywhere in the ground about it. Yeah. It was, and also I think little things like being able to hear each other, getting instructions across, just while we're bedding in systems. Yeah. But I think if we went into the ground, next week, I don't think it would suddenly players would go, oh, shoot. No. Because they'd be used to it all.
Stephen Hill says we'll do 5 more minutes. Stephen Hill says there aren't many clubs that are sustainable. Everton isn't sustainable with the current spending.
Yeah.
With outside investments. They both are and are not businesses. No, well, that's right. It isn't. And every club should do it. Without a shadow of a doubt. Every club should be living within the means. No club should be paying wages that they do. These clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United, we were trying to get all the power grab. The money they turn over, they shouldn't need any more things. They just pay the players far too much money, and everybody should turn around as a collective and go, we're not paying more than that.
don't you think, though, it's not about, for some clubs, getting more money? It's about taking money off other clubs. And that's essentially what it is. It's stopping other clubs from growing rather than them growing. I think that's the way to look at it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the idea of buying a player to stop someone else buying. It's the same with this. It's like Liverpool, like, well, if we stop someone else getting the money that could have them competing with us, I think that's more important.
What it is, yeah.
If you haven't subscribed, please do. By the way, we're 47 away from 46,000. Yeah. And I really want 50,000 for Christmas. Yeah. Literally, it's the only thing I want for Christmas. 50,000.
Neil Hansen says that there are a feud between Toffee TV and the Toffee Blues. No. Feud. No. Feud with anybody. That's a weird one. No. I'll just have a look.
We're in a different weight.
The what?
We're in a different weight category.
Not feud with anyone, do we? Refresh Patreon before we go.
Feuds with other ASMR channels.
I do. Do you know what? That gentleman.
ASMR, they're the ones.
Rapunzel, ASMR. Better watch yourself.
There's a feud there.
Better watch yourself.
Just type stuff for 4 hours and people will just...
That's it.
Keith Powell says, whatever support can be given to the Football League will be far more beneficial to everyday clubs, players, communities, and should be given priority over considering ideas from multinational companies such as the Glazers and FSG from the USA. All they're interested in is shareholders' value and dividends. Half of the shareholders don't even watch football. Let's get a grip. Terry McKenna says the deadline day show is evidence that Toffee TV is international. Also,
what it is
to America via, and then he doesn't finish.
It's like, say to Gary, stop using all that money on Salford City, it's just a waste of time, isn't it? Stop that. Just get a bigger van instead of having corporates.
Hilarious. Samuel Thorndale Leach. Nice one, Sam. You always do, mate. Top man. Right. Where are we? Last one. Sam wants to know when the match preview for the derby. That'll be out tomorrow, but...
There's one going out in what time is it?
6 minutes.
There's one coming out on Patreon in 6 minutes, which is the opponent's one. And we haven't had a chance to do our own one. We'll do that tomorrow. That'll be out mid-afternoon on Patreon, and it'll be in the evening time on YouTube.
Yeah, tomorrow evening for that, 48
so
hours.
If you're on
before.
Patreon, there's an opponent's one with me and Ross. Because Paul Machin and Chris, they're running scared. They're running scared. So they sent Ross down, who's a nice lad, but he's from Southport. So,
Lynn Babington, just going to correct you. Remember being at Goodison when West Brom beat you 5-1 and Chris Brunt scored a free kick. It was 4-1. Lynn, it was 4. I mean, it doesn't make that much difference. I know that. I remember that Jermaine Beckford missed about 14 one-on-ones that day. But it was 4-1, but Chris Brunt did score a hell of a free kick. And you battered us 4-1. So there you go.
Every dog has its day.
And basic trigonometry says Carragher ASMR TV. There you go. So off we go. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, as we try to get closer to the 46,000 mark before we're racing to 50,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. Thanks for all your support.
What's Adrian doing there? Oh my God! Just clear it,
Carragher here.
Just clear it.
And thanks to for all the comments.
You can't even defend.
And the ones who think I'm overly positive, look out for on Twitter when someone says I'm negative and defend me or have a word with them. Top people.
Yeah,
top people.
Can't wait to see Bash sucking on a word. Can't wait.
Rob Walsh, love the videos as always. Love it. Owen Peters, love it. Head boss. Right, we are going. Take it easy. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
if you're on Patreon, we'll see you tomorrow.
Baz is like Graham Souness, but positive. Laters.